So as a kid, I was the girly girl. Anything pink, sparkly, bejeweled, bet I would wear, own, and slay. Every day, I would head to school with my Disney Princess pencil case, reading my Pegasus chapter books at recess, while serving with my Ariel stick-on earrings. Naturally, it goes without saying that I grew up playing with Barbie and watching all the Barbie movies, even the later inferior ones. Barbie has become a source of comfort to me, even when it's just an uninspired story about her and her sisters looking for their missing puppies. I grew up with Barbie, so I guess you could say she mothered me. All in all, it makes my childhood heart really happy to see the new live-action movies spurring on Barbie culture. But what's the hidden story behind Barbiecore? It's easy to claim Barbie's power, but what is her status outside the West? Today, we're going to dive into the evolution of Barbie culture and discuss the extent of Barbie's iconic legacy. Over in the West, the heyday of Barbie, and concurrently the origin of Barbiecore, was around the 90s to 2000s. This was also when Barbie became especially pinkified. It was at this time when Mattel filed the trademark for Barbie pink. Unlike softer and more pastel shades of pink, Barbie pink is not really gentle or innocent, but playful and bold, if not a little flirty. The color is girlish, but mature. At heart, Barbiecore is about having a fun time and not taking yourself too seriously.
2000s babes always look like they're having fun. And if you're not having fun, then just leave.
But this 2000s golden era, or you could say pink era of Barbiecore, only lasted for a decade or so. Concerns about the hyper-feminine aesthetic began to surface. The result of this outcry was Barbie being a lot less, well, Barbiecore. Glamorous get your sparkle on dress, more like a wannabe Hannah Montana outfit.
Pathetic.
The new Barbie was lacking all the shimmer, shine, and glimmer. But the public outrage eventually died down, and Miss Genius Greta Gerwig brought back all that was iconic about Barbie. The playful charm and chic associated with Barbie in the 2000s is revived in the movie's aesthetic, and Margot Robbie's embodiment of the character.
Hey Barbie.
Yeah.
Can I come to your house tonight?
Sure. I don't have anything big planned, just a giant blowout party with all the Barbies and planned choreography and a bespoke song. You should stop by.
The marketing again reflects this lighthearted classiness of Barbie.
We need to talk about Barbie's marketing. This billboard doesn't even have the name. All you need is the pink and the date, and you already know that this is about Barbie. HGTV even has a new show coming out called Barbie Dreamhouse Challenge. They've even teamed up with Progressive, which makes sense because, you know, she's got the dream house, she's got the dream car, she needs to be insured.
Not to mention, we were experiencing all kinds of existential crises in the pandemic. Wouldn't it be nice to live the charming life of Barbie, to reside in this pink and perfect world where everything is just fun and exciting? But wait, that's not quite the end of the story.
What in the world?
While Barbiecore was popping off, falling off, and then popping off again in the West, the other side of the world was on a whole other page. Another narrative was running in the East. Barbie was never much of a cultural icon in other places. Growing up in East Asia, it's clear that there exists a cult of cuteness. It was a lot more common for children to own cute toys like stuffed animals, baby dolls, and calico critters. As an internationalized kid, I actually owned quite a lot of Barbie dolls, but it wasn't the same for everyone else. For me, who grew up consuming Western media, it makes sense why I was so into Barbie. I knew all the lore, but to my peers, she was just like any other doll. Hot pink itself was also never very popular, seeming overly flashy. This is specifically the case in China, where it was labeled 死亡芭比粉, which translates to horrific Barbie pink, and which locals perceive to make their skin look darker or more yellow, a negative in a culture where fair skin is the pervading ideal. There was actually a global campaign run by Mattel in the early 2010s called Barbie the Dream Closet. They had one in Korea where they awarded a chosen idol as the Barbie of K-pop, with the purpose of putting forward Barbie as something more than a doll, as an icon and cultural muse. However, it was a flop in Korea and didn't bring much hype around Barbie. Fast forward to the 2020s and suddenly we see elements and themes of Barbiecore slipping into East Asian pop culture. The appearance of bright pink in the gamer girl aesthetic, K-pop concepts, and a doll-like philosophy of Douyin makeup. I've even seen some Barbie-inspired photo shoots by Asian influencers popping up on feed, and Chinese brands selling Barbiecore clothes. Seems like this curiosity around Barbiecore is only going to keep shooting up. So we see that Barbiecore is not much of a revival in the East, but a novel trend. But what caused this? What does Barbiecore mean to the East when much of the lore and Western significance of Barbie is lost in translation? We might think, well, the feminist movement has recently really been going off in many East Asian countries. But we have to remember that they don't really know Barbie as a girl boss as the West does. They haven't watched her overshining Ken in the Dream House series.
Nothing like the great outdoors to show off one's man skills.
Or fighting like a hero in Barbie and the Three Musketeers. Instead, I suspect more of it has to do with how Barbie represents the American ideal, the American dream. Exposure to the new Barbie movie digs up long-lost fantasies of the American life. Take Margot Robbie at the press tours in Asia, this beautiful blonde goddess living the dream. She's giving them a taste of Barbie, the heart of Americana. Just like the Western romanticization of living in places like Japan or Korea, there's also an idolization of the American world from the East. Why else are fake LA photo shoots and American high school ID pictures trending in China?
Chinese girls are going crazy for these ID photos. There are a lot of tutorials on Xiaohongshu on how to take the photos at home. In their minds, American students are wild and free, so they're always listening to music or chewing bubblegums at school. But everyone uses the same template in beauty app. Every girl is called Kendall, and her motto is, "Life was like a box of chocolates."
To be honest, as a kid, I didn't really care about or even want to have Asian Barbie dolls to play with, or see an Asian Barbie on screen. In fact, if Barbie wasn't white, I probably wouldn't have liked her much. Barbie rather adheres to the beauty standard I grew up internalizing, slim and modest, with large doe eyes and a friendly demeanor. There was a reason why I never played with my Bratz dolls, who had a conflicting look. Barbie lived my dream life. She had my desired appearance, resided in a large, beautiful American house, and experienced the Hollywood fantasy. Barbie capitalized on my deepest desire, whether that was to look conventionally pretty or to live in the paradise of America. Barbie means different things to different cultures, but her universality lies in the fact that she's the epitome, the essence of childhood, no matter where you're from. And right now, those of us that grew up in the early 2000s are now young adults, newly entering the workforce. Time is slipping through our fingers. Our childhood is suddenly gone. For those who grew up with Barbie, Barbiecore brings back a direct nostalgia of the fun and charming moments they spent with her. Rewatching core childhood movies like Barbie Princess Charm School, or even rediscovering the online Barbie games always gives me an escape from the real world. Barbiecore uncovers forgotten childhood wishes. We're thrown back to a time where we could dream of anything, when life hadn't yet made us cynical and disillusioned. Barbie actually makes me kind of sad, because she reminds me of a time where I believed I could be anyone, anything I wanted to be.
Hello, my name is Gwendid, and I'll be your professor today. And I will be talking about the brain. Now, does anybody know how big the brain is?
But at the same time, Barbie still pulls on this tiny sliver in my heart. Like, why can't I be a Barbie girl living in a Barbie world? Truly, I'm just a Barbie girl, writing in my pretty pink diary in my Malibu dream house. So what childhood joys and dreams does Barbie unearth for you? I think I view Barbie through very rose-tinted lenses, growing up as and remaining an avid Barbie lover. But let me know what role Barbie played in your life in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, check out our Instagram and TikTok for more Barbie content, and if you want to download the PowerPoint template that we used for this video essay. See you next time!